Here is question 9 of our quiz on quadratic function. It says a parabola increases from minus infinity to 2 with y-intercept of minus 1 and maximum value of 1. Determine the equation of the parabola and explain the transformation. Okay, so let's try to first sketch our parabola. So we can sketch it like, so we know what's given to us. Parabola increases from minus infinity to 2. Let's say this is 2 for us, right? Let's say this is 2. So the parabola is increasing from, that means parabola is increasing, like kind of going up, right? With y-intercept at minus 1, so it goes through the point minus 1 here, and a maximum value of 1, so kind of here maximum value, right? So since it is increasing from here, we'll assume that it decreases thereafter, after it's a parabola, right? So it has to decrease after some point. So we'll assume that it decreases from 2 itself. So let's draw this parabola. So let's say this parabola is kind of like this, right? Where the y-intercept is minus 1 and it increases till 2. Let's say this point is 2 on x-axis, correct? So the maximum value for the parabola is 1, correct? With a maximum of 1. So that is the kind of a sketch. And if we are given this parabola, we can find the equation of this parabola. So let's try to figure out. We say f of x equals to, let's use a vertex form, since the vertex is given to us. A times x minus 2, because 2 is the x value, square plus 1. That's our parabola, correct? I know a should be negative because it's going down, but we should calculate the value from y-intercept and figure out. Okay. Now, many times I've seen when students are doing this problem, they forget about a and they just start with x minus 2 whole square plus 1, right? And then land up in problems later. Actually, we should write a general equation in vertex form and try to find the value of a. So the value of a could be found from y-intercept, which says at x equals to 0, the y is minus 1, correct? So y-intercept is minus 1. So we'll plug in this. So we say if x equals to 0, what is the value? Say a equals to 0 minus 2 is, let me write 0 minus 2 whole square plus 1. And at x equals 0, we have minus 1 here, correct? So I can write here as minus 1 is equals to 2 square is 4, 4a plus 1, correct? Now if I bring this on this side, then I get minus 2 equals to 4a. And from here, a equals to minus 2 over 4, which gives us a value of minus half. Is it okay? So we were expecting a negative value of a, and that's what we got, correct? So now we can write our function as f of x equals to minus half x minus 2 whole square plus 1. Do you see that? So it is not necessary to start with a negative number. You can just write a, and once you plug in the values, you will get the right value of a, correct? So that is how we can find the equation of our function also. So the question is determine the equation of parabola and explain the transformation. So let's do the next part of explaining the transformation, right? Now if that is the parabola, we are assuming the parent function to be, so the parent function is x squared, correct? So we are comparing this with the parent function x squared. Now let me write down this function again. We have f of x equals to minus of half x minus 2 whole square plus 1, correct? Now we will write down the transformation. Now when you write the transformation, you should always write stretches and compressions first and then the translations, okay? So it's better to move from left to right to avoid any confusion. So if you move from left to right, you get this minus. So this minus means what? It means reflection, right? On which axis? Reflection on x-axis. You remember anything outside the function is vertically transformed, right? And then Then we have translations. So this translation is 2 units to the right, because if I replace x with plus 2, I can make this number 0, right? This factor 0. So we say translate or move. So let's use the word translate 2 units right. Is it okay? And the next one is plus 1. So plus 1 will say translate 1 unit up. That is the kind of transformation. As you can see, if your parabola is kind of like this, first thing you do is reflect it, and then you translate right and then up, and you come to this value. Correct? So that makes sense, right? That is how the transformation is. It's good to know that if we have x and y as original point in our function x squared, then how are these points going to translate in the image function for this particular function, which is minus half x minus 2 whole square plus 1. So what will happen to these points? So what will really happen is, so x points get translated by x gets x plus 2, right? So these points will become x plus 2 for the x points, and for y they will get multiplied by minus half and added to 1. So y points will be minus half of original y points plus 1. So that is the point-wise transformation which is going to happen, correct? So if you plug 0, 0, you get 2 and plus 1, right? 2 and plus 1. You see, that is how they are going to get translated. Perfect? Right. Now as an exercise for you, so I'll give you a problem here for you to solve. So your problem is to find x-intercepts of this. Find x-intercepts for f inverse x. Okay? So f inverse x is here. So you have to find x-intercepts of this. Can you do it? To find x-intercepts, you have to find the value of x for which f of x is 0, right? So you have to plug in 0 and get your answer. Okay? It's kind of inverse of a function operation, correct? Try this out. I hope that clears many things. You learn how to sketch a graph from a given condition. You also learn how to write equation of a function from a graph. And then we also learn transformation. We also learn how the points get transformed, and then some more things which you can do on your own with this graph is to find x-intercepts or even y-intercepts of the transformed function. Okay? I hope that will be interesting to do. Okay, thank you.